Hello boys, welcome to this online class of history for class 12. Hope you're keeping fine, you're keeping safe and protected. Let us start with our lessons, and I wish to tell you that in history you have two sections, section A with Indian history and section B with world history. So we'll start with section A, that is Indian history, and we start with the first chapter of history, and that's titled as Towards Independence and Partition, the Last Phase, 1935 to 1947. We have studied about this period in class 10. We have studied about S.C. Bose being elected as the President of the Congress twice. We've also studied about Jawaharlal Nehru, how he was influenced by the socialist ideas of great Soviet Union, and he wanted to introduce those ideas of socialism in India as well as make it as an aim of the Indian National Congress. So we start with this lesson, and before we come to Jawaharlal Nehru and we come to S.C. Bose, Subhash Chandra Bose, we would start with the first subheading in the chapter, and that is termed as or called as Growth of Socialist Ideas. And in that we study about the role of M.N. Roy. M.N. Roy was known as Narendranath Banerjee. So M.N. Roy was his next name, not the original name. His original name was Narendranath Banerjee, but he was popularly known as M.N. Roy. Towards the end of the 19th century, there were many revolutionary movements spreading among the educated middle class of Bengal. And these movements, or these revolutionary nationalism or nationalists, were much influenced by the writings of Bankim Chand Chatterjee and Swami Vivekananda. During this time, if you remember, in 1905, we had studied that in class 10, that there was partition of Bengal. Lord Curzon had divided Bengal into East and West Bengal, and there were a lot of mass movements coming up in protest against the partition of Bengal and the annulment of this partition. And this was an opportunity for M.N. Roy to take an active part in the movement. So he was expelled from the school for participating in such movements, and then he joined the Anushilan Samiti, and he became a very active member of the Anushilan Samiti. After joining the Anushilan Samiti, his first wrong act committed was the banditry, a political banditry to raise funds. He tried to rob and to raise funds for the secret society. But he was arrested and later on he was released. Now, leaving this, he wanted to do something more constructive, something more revolutionary, and so he became sure or convinced that only now, looking at this happening and his being arrested and then his realization of more constructive work, he thought that the only option that was left now to drive out the British from India was an armed struggle. So to achieve this objective, they looked towards, or he along with the revolutionary nationalists looked towards Germany for some help. But he was refused. He was refused any help, or Germany refused to give any help to the revolutionary nationalists. They thought that they would, with the help of Germany, they could attack and free Andaman Islands. That's what he wanted, or that's what the revolutionary nationalists wanted, that they wanted to free Andaman Islands and then to arm the prisoners there with the help of Germany and then fight for the liberation of India, starting from the coast of Orissa. But this aim or objective of the revolutionary nationalists could not materialize because of the refusal of German help to the revolutionaries. Then he met Sun Yat-sen. He was a Chinese leader who was taking asylum in Japan, and he also refused to give help to the revolutionary nationalist, and finally, Emin Roy moved to San Francisco, where he went to a library, the New York Public Library, and he happened to read the ideals of Karl Marx, and he was much influenced by Marxism. Please note down what is the meaning of Marxism. Marxism is a political and economic way. I repeat, Marxism is a political and economic way of organizing the society where the workers